the new year 2023 by doing a two-part weekend. We're going to Dispersed camp tonight and ring in the new year, and then tomorrow we're going to try it called Hip Camp. Now Hip Camp's an app, anyone can download it. It's kind of like Airbnb for campsites, so we're super excited. We found this beautiful mountaintop site, and it is only accessible by Jeeps, so we're taking Sparky.
4x4s.
4x4. So we are somewhere out in the wilderness in South Carolina, and we have came to the signage, trying to understand it. It says that we can camp here in designated campsites. So let's go find these designated campsites. We just came to this spot, and it looks like you can take the creek crossing or the bridge. Okay, so we have found our dispersed camping site for the night. We are on Pasture Road, and I know it's super cloudy right now, but tomorrow morning it's supposed to clear up, and this view is going to be gorgeous. So this new tent has built-in lights. How cool is that? So our very first night dispersed camping was a success. We woke up to beautiful mountain views here on Pasture Road, and then we went out exploring this morning and let our tent kind of air out. Y'all, there's waterfalls, there's swinging bridges, there's hiking trails. This place here in South Carolina is such a dream for outdoor people. So we are definitely going to be coming back and looking for all the waterfalls and all the fun stuff. And on top of that, it was free camping. This cost us nothing. our hip camp location, and this is what it looks like. It wasn't really hard to find. The GPS led us straight here, but look at the view. It is a very beautiful view. I'd have to pay for this site tonight, and it was like $62. So for $62, this is the view we're getting. But it will also hold 2 cars and 4 campers. So if you had friends that would come with you, you would have plenty of room. Tonight is chicken noodle soup for dinner with some vegetables. Vegetable chicken noodle soup. Our tent, look at, oh, it's romantic lighting. It's a little on the cold side. The bigger tent that we have allows for more coldness, so we're used to little tents. So we are putting these in our socks to keep our feetsies warm. It's a trick. And then we may even keep some beside our bed to put on our hands if they get cold. And then we also have each other so we can snuggle. And don't forget, hey, we have this fuzzy buddy. This fuzzy little buddy right here will keep us warm too. Ringing in our new year with our new experiences has came to an end. This is now 2023 and we're super stoked for our adventures this year. But let me recap all that we did this weekend with our new ways of camping, new places, our new tent, our new cots, our new cooking, and we even had a new way to potty this time. Okay, so this weekend we tried dispersed camping versus hip camp, and they both were great. They both have their pros and cons. So dispersed camping is camping on government land, and you can do that a lot in national forests, that kind of thing. And then hip camp is an app that you can download. It's free to download, and it's kind of like an Airbnb for campers, so you find the spot. Now, whereas dispersed camping is free, hip camp, you're gonna have a small fee, and it depends on what you want. So for instance, we wanted this view here on New Year's, and so we paid for it. It was a $60 fee for a one-night camping, but we wanted that view. Now, both were primitive. Dispersed camping is first come, first serve, so the sooner you get there, the better. One thing we liked about the dispersed camping is we had this big forest that we could jeep through. We found trails, we found waterfalls, we found so much fun stuff. You could have stayed there for days exploring all of that natural land. Here at the hip camp, we could not check in till 2, and then we have to be out by 11. There is a porta potty up there at this particular spot, and I'll link this spot down below if this is a place you would like to come to. This is in Maggie Valley. This was very quiet last night. We're kind of up on a mountain, and it's kind of private land, so there's not cars coming and going, whereas on the dispersed camping the night before, you had cars going back and forth and lots of fireworks, but it was New Year's, so that's to be expected anywhere. So it just depends on what you are looking for in a campsite. My suggestion is get a spark of adventure. What do you want to do? Do you want to go out and explore nature? The dispersed camping might be the way to go. Or are you traveling from one spot to the other and you just need a beautiful camp spot? Hip camp might be the app for you to use. Either way, they're both good and they're both great for adventuring. So the next thing that was new for our weekend trip is we have this new tent, and you've seen video of us putting it up and down super easy. The only thing negative, it is super long, like it takes up like a corner of the Jeep. It's small when it's down, but it's long. but we loved it. You just pop it in and out and it's down. One thing we did not like about this tent is that it had a lot of condensation. So we've thought of some ways to get rid of the condensation when the fly is on. We're gonna put small little pool noodles to keep the top from touching down on the mesh so it could vent. One thing about this tent as well is because it's larger than what we normally camp in, it was a little harder to get warm. So in our small 2-man tent, Johnny and I can usually heat it up. Our body heat heats it up, so we're kind of toasty. This one never really got toasty in here because it's very big, and then it's tall. You see Johnny, he's standing up in there putting things away. But other than that, we think we're gonna love this tent over the years just because it's gonna be super easy to pull in, pop up, and camp. Also, this camping trip, we tried cot sleeping. Now, we have done air mattresses. We have air pads, the small little air mattresses that fit in our backpack. And we wanted to try out cot camping. We found that we did not like that. Number one, we could not sleep close together. So in the cold, we couldn't use our body temperature to heat each other up. It just wasn't comfortable. We thought being off the ground, it would be great. And we did like being off the ground. So as we get older, you can swing your feet and stand straight up. You don't have to get on all fours and then stand up. But the cots just did not work for us. Great idea, didn't work for us. So we're gonna move on to something else. The way we cooked was also new this weekend. Our kids gave us a Dutch oven for Christmas, so we brought it and tried it out. But we had a fire every night. So every night I did a soup in the Dutch oven and placed it on the fire, which was perfect. Now in the mornings, we used our jet boil to heat up water for instant grits and granola, that kind of stuff, and for our coffee. So whereas the Dutch oven is good, you probably might want to bring something else for the other meals. But that's us. We also have a Blackstone that we love bringing, except it's just a little bit on the big side, but it's fun to cook on as well. People don't like to talk about it, but when you're primitive camping, this is a must. We're humans, we all have to potty. So we tried a new potty system. Now in our tiny camper, we have a porta potty. And so everything goes into a holding tank and then we empty it. And we could have brought it on this trip. However, the Jeep was getting sort of full. So we came up with this. This is our potty. So basically it's just a seat and it folds up flat. It has garbage bags here. So if you were dispersed camping, we have a shovel. You could dig a hole, do your business, and it falls in the hole, you cover it up. However, here at the hip camp, we would not want to do that here on private property. So you have some baggies that you can line this. Goes in there just like doggy baggies. And you do your business, you tie it up, and then you throw it away when you get to a place you can do that. And I have to tell you, it was used once this weekend, and apparently it did the trick. It's a whole lot better than trying to squat, because as we get older, our knees are not as great as they used to be. So a seat is perfect. And that's a wrap on our new experiences to start off the new year. I hope you found this information informative. I'll try to link all the things that we used below in my description here. If you have any questions, just comment below. And like always, please like and subscribe for more Spark of Adventure.